What's happening, LEGO fans, and welcome back. Alex here. In this video, we're going to go over some changes that we've made to the residential area, specifically to Town Square. A lot of this configuration is now quite a bit different, and if you've been following me on Instagram, you'll know a little bit about what's going on. But basically, what started this mess was that this road right here went nowhere. It was just a loop, and I didn't like it, so I tore that out, and what happened next was just a lot of rearranging. So again, this road right here is now a single road, not a double road that I had previously. That meant I had to reroute the airport shuttle track, which now goes all the way around this way instead of straight through the downtown area, and that is the location. Still relatively the same that I had last time with the airport shuttle station, but just moved a little bit closer there to the edge. Now, what you'll notice pretty quick if you're familiar with the upper level is that Ninjago City has joined the docks down at the lower level. I thought about this a lot, and it was really starting to stick out at the top there, a little bit out of place more or less, so I decided to just join it with its Ninjago Docks partner there, and this is the result. Not sure I'll do a lot of changes around it. It looks okay. It's not too crazy there. I mean, the river is still a river. It does go through Ninjago City. I did have to turn Ninjago Docks around so that it actually fit with the side of Ninjago City there, but there we go. They're finally together after who knows how many months and years, but kind of a cool look there. And I don't know, it's a little bit, I might have to do something around the edge here between the old fishing store and Ninjago City. I'm not sure. It's a little close to that, but for now, it's not bugging me enough that I'm ripping it apart. I think the biggest change with this was just making the road right here. You have this frontage road instead of nothing now, so you have this kind of big figure of 8 style of roads on the upper level, and this, of course, is the front, so it's kind of nice to have that opened up for cars, and there is that little makeshift bridge there. I don't know if I'm going to keep that long term, but it's kind of insinuating the fact that there is some flow of water going through there, because I did not want to lose my waterfall. I wanted to have some sort of water continue to go through this. As you guys know, Ninjago Docks is built on a foundation around water, or in water, I should say. So the idea was to keep the water up there, not only just keep the water, but the flow. And I'm reaching over really far there. I don't know if you guys can see that reservoir or gutter or whatever you want to call it, but the thought is that water is flowing underground and comes out and reveals itself right there in front of the Parisian restaurant and the diner. So these changes meant moving a lot of the modulars around, as you can imagine, and Palace Cinema was obviously moved. This used to be right next to Ninjago City there at the front. That has been moved here, and that meant I had to move Brickbank, and Brickbank is now moved back there, right next to the firehouse. And that was where the diner was. Now the diner has been moved here towards the front. These two modulars, the 50s diner and the Parisian restaurant, were the only two modulars that I could make this work with, and that is because they're not corner buildings, but they could be corner buildings. They're meant to be like right between two buildings, kind of like the detective's office and town hall there. But they worked perfectly for that area, and I think I'm pretty happy with the placement. So Parisian restaurant comes a lot more visible because that was way back in the back, right next to the hospital. So the idea now is where the Parisian restaurant used to be, which is right here, is to put the newest modular that's going to be coming out early next year, actually January 1st, which I think is called the bookstore, and that is where I'm going to put it, which is kind of a shame that it's kind of back here and out of sight. Thinking that maybe I can make it more visible, which maybe I can swap out detective's office and put that back here, because it's a newer model, the newer modular that you want out to be more visible. But here's this great chasm where I usually have a panel that resembles a small pond, but I haven't put that back in. As you can see, I haven't actually cleaned up my mess from the rebuild quite yet. There's some pieces laying around here, but everything else is relatively the same. So over here, the airport shuttle station was my biggest pain with this rebuild. To get this just right, as it usually is whenever I try to rebuild and reconfigure the airport shuttle. It was a problem because of the orientation. So it opens up this way, guys, right? So if I had this thing, the easiest thing is to have it come down here and turn right into how it goes right here. But then the orientation would have the platform on the left side, your left, and I just didn't like that. And yeah, I could switch the train around, but then the orientation would be wrong for the other stations, such as the one on the other side of this bridge. Can't have that, right? So I took out the bypass and minimized the loop as much as I could, and this is what I came up with. It doesn't obstruct too much. I don't know. It's a work in progress. I didn't want it too close to the Parisian restaurant because you don't want this fancy restaurant next to a noisy train. So that's just kind of what I came up with. I also, and I haven't done this yet, but I want to build another train station right here for this loop that you see here. It's interesting to me that I don't, as far as I know, I haven't had any comments saying that, hey, Alex, your loop on the upper level trains doesn't have any other stations except for the one on the other side over there, that main station. It just goes in a loop with no other train station. So I'm like, I got to add a train station somewhere. So this is the idea, is to have a platform right here so that there's actually another train station. There's a purpose for people to get on the train on the upper level, and maybe have another train station over there by the hospital. The last thing I want to show you here is this continuation of sorts from Town Hall, or just Town Square on the other side, so people can continue coming over here. And there's some cool things to see as you kind of exit Town Square. So I have these blank, well, they were blank areas. If you follow me on Instagram, these were just blank. There's nothing in here. But upstairs, we have a lot of those Lego Advent calendars we've used through the years. And they were all piled up. All the pieces of former years were just piled in a container. So I told Josh, I'm like, Josh, why don't you get everything out of there and just make a Christmas scene in those boxes downstairs. And this is what he came up with. There's just a lot of people, I guess, selling things, kind of a Christmas Day setup, a lot of toys just for show. I think he did a pretty good job. It's a little cluttered, but all in all, I think he did really well with what he had. And there's only one thing left to do, and that's to do a demonstration of the airport shuttle in action. Just put a fresh 9-volt battery in this thing. So let's give it its inaugural run here around to the airport and back. And I love how this thing splits these tracks below it. It's a nice look. I was really proud of that. And of course, the new airport is not finished. This is all kind of a side quest for me. So I just got this temporary stop over there. Have it come back. Now, as it comes back, I want you guys to take a look at something. Let me just kind of level this out here as the train goes by. I don't know if the camera can catch this or not, but you can see that the shuttle track does go up maybe 3 or 4 bricks when it actually goes to that station. I think it's going to come back to us. Yep. And as it continues from the station, it goes back down a little ways, and that's actually about 4 or 5 bricks. And the reason for that is because I had to make that station really high to accommodate these lower trains down here from going underneath that. That bit over there, because it does go underneath those supports, so I had to make sure there's enough clearance. So it's kind of funny how it all kind of goes up and down. Lucky for me, the track is quite flexible. So that's it. All right, guys, well, I think that wraps it up for this update. Now I can get back to building the airport building. So hope you guys enjoyed that rebuild of the downtown area, partially the downtown area. And I think we're going to break for Christmas, and when we come back, I should have some more updates on the airport, as well as hopefully a new modular building to put in my city. Until then, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.